Hello, everyone. Hello. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start because this is kind of like an odd time of day for people to be able to jump on. So as you jump on, you will catch things through. You can always go back to the beginning and catch the whole thing. So I am jumping on here to show you all how I sage and why. So let me start off by saying why I sage. Okay, so first off, saging. It's just basically taking wrapped sage. There's different things that you can use. You can go get from like a holistic store. You can get it from Amazon. Super simple. What I have right now is white sage. It looks like this. This is what I'm going to use today. And there's actually different elements within the sage that will help to take any negativity that is in the air particles and around you, the energy, the negative energy, and it will help to remove it. I don't know the science behind all of it, the specifics of all of it, but that's the general how it works. So basically, the reason that you want to sage, or when you want to sage, you can basically sage as often as you like, but I like to sage every couple months usually. Sometimes it's monthly. But the reason why you would want to sage is if you feel like there's any negativity in the house, if there's been arguments, or hi sunshine, if there's been anything that a disturbance, if you've decluttered, if you've done a renovation, it's just, there's always, if somebody's been off or kind of been in a funk or all these different, like there's always, you should just sage all the time because everybody goes through ebb and flow, and it's just good to have negative energy removed and to help bring positive energy back into the house. So the reason I am doing this specifically today is because we did a renovation on our basement. We got rid of a ton of clutter. I mean, clutter we've had for years since we moved over 12 years ago, just kind of piled up in a room, and we went through it all. We really got rid of a lot of stuff. So between a declutter, a full-blown construction in our basement went from basically the old cinder blocks to a new family room, a pantry. It's very, very nice down there. And so it's a lot of stuff. And whether you believe or not believe, spirit is all around us. They're everywhere. And they're always, sometimes you have things attached to things in your home. If there's somebody that's been in your home and you're doing reconstruction or kind of causing, you're getting rid of clutter, you're getting rid of the norm, they don't necessarily like that. So sometimes things can kind of get a little wonky, and it's just better to kind of clear the house out. There's always like passerby spirits, I call them, the random ones. It's more of like a residual thing, but they kind of like randomly go through your house. You can pick stuff up when you're out and about. Like, it's just lots of reasons why it's good to just kind of like clear your space. For me personally, I don't mind spirits being in my home. That doesn't bother me, but I don't like negative ones being here. So for me, I make sure that whenever I'm doing my saging, I state that, and I'll explain that in a minute. But being that we've had the renovation, the decluttering, holidays, can be kind of stressful, just normal life stuff, everybody in my house has been feeling it. Like, every single person has come to me and said, you need to sage this house, period. So going into it, I will tell you that whenever you're going to sage, you need to make sure that you have gotten a good night's sleep, because it does take energy to be able to do it. And so make sure that you have a good night's sleep. Make sure that you're hydrated, because you're going to be doing a lot of talking whenever you're doing it, because at least the way that I do it, I actually say like a prayer as I'm walking through my house and I'm doing it. So just make sure you're hydrated. And that's pretty much it. If you guys have questions or anything like that, if you've never done it or whatnot, all you have to do is let me know. But one of the things that I also do before I start saging is I go through and try to open as many windows and doors as possible. I like once the sage is burning, it will actually remove the negativity. It'll take it in its smoke and remove it. So I want it to have a place to go. So today I'm in Western Pennsylvania and it's cool out. But honestly, I don't even care because we've been seeing things here, hearing things that are outside of our normal seeing and hearing, and our house definitely needs to get taken care of. So it can also cause anxiety. So I don't know if any of you have anxiety, but if you do and you notice it more when you're in your house, that could mean that you also need to sage and kind of remove any of that stagnant energy. So with that being said, what I personally do is I will take my sage, and for any of you who are just jumping on, you can get this at a holistic place, crystal place. You can order it from Amazon. If you have Prime, it'll be there in 2 days. But basically what I do is I just light the end of one of the pieces here, get it nice and hot. And then once it gets nice and hot, there we go, like that. Obviously you don't want to be walking around with a fire. There you go. See how that is right there? Like that's smoking. Like that's what you want whenever you walk through your home. You can use a feather to waft it or just your hand. I do have a feather. I don't know what I did with it, but I'll find it whenever I go to do it. But basically what you want to do is you want to have it smoking like this, and then you can just waft. At first, I just used my hand for the longest time just because I didn't have a feather and it was just easier. But what you also want to do is you want to have a bowl or ceramic dish that if any ashes fall in, I always carry it over top. Some people like use a seashell, like the inner side of a seashell, just something that if an ash would fall, it will go in here and it won't cause a fire or anything like that. So basically what I do is I start at my front door. I'm going to put this up. And it does have a smell to it. I'm just going to warn you. That's another reason why it's good to have the windows open. Woo-hoo. Anyways, so I start at my front door for me personally. And what I do is I will take my sage, it's still going. I'll take it and I'll actually just start like at the bottom left corner and I go up and just do the frame of the door. And then I literally move from left to right through my house. You can move right to left. I don't really think it matters. This is just the way that I've done it. So for me, it just feels natural to do it this way. Because I'm somebody, if I get into a routine of doing something a certain way, I need to continue that or I feel off. So however you feel like you need to do that. But then I'll go around my doorway and then I'll move over like into my living room because my doorway is over here and then my living room's to the left. And then I will literally just go like that, like around each corner of the window, just kind of like, you don't have to do anything. It doesn't have to be very, specific. Just kind of roll it around so it kind of gets the edges of the windows. And when you go to a corner of the house, what I like to do is I like to make sure that I take the smoke that's coming off and I try to waft it into the top of the corner and then go down to the bottom, because negative stagnant energy likes to sit in corners and places like that. So then you just kind of move through your home and you do that around every window, around every door, whether it be a closet door, an entry door, and you just walk through. For me, what I do is, and I've done it different a couple times, and you can honestly just, whatever feels right to you, that's the way you should do it. So you can look up, you can search prayers for saging. You can go to Pinterest. There's so many out there. You can read through them, figure out what kind of feels right to you, and then just do it. What I do is I always, for me, and what feels right for me and my family, is I like to surround everything with God, Jesus, angels, spirit guides. That feels right to me. That's what I always do. You don't have to do it that way. You can say it whatever way you want. You can say source, universe, whatever feels right to you, do that, because that's what's going to help you to do it correctly and it's going to feel good. and it's going to get rid of the negativity. So what I will do is I will stand and I will start and I will say something along the lines of, like I said, I wing this every time. So it's not like I have a script or anything. So just know that when you do this, there's no right or wrong. It's whatever feels right to you. So I will just start and I will say, I am surrounding my home with God, Jesus, angels, spirit guides, anything of a lower vibrational energy or any negativity must leave my home now. Only that of the highest vibrational energy is allowed in my home. Only that that is surrounded and sent by God, Jesus, spirit guides, and angels are welcome here. Everything else must leave now. And I say it with that inflection. I say it with that authority because I'm telling the negativity, it's got to go. Like it's not allowed to stay here anymore. And then I just repeat that. And sometimes I've said it out loud. Sometimes I say it to myself. It's whatever's right. It doesn't matter as long as you're saying something as you're going through and you're being intentional about it. That's what's going to help it to be removed. So that's literally all I do. And I just walk through the house. I don't make it like a big thing. When I have a walk-up attic, some people can't even get to their attic. Like I don't walk the whole way through because honestly, it's basically like it's crazy up there. It's clutter. It's whatever. I just stand at the top of the stairs and then I do it and I kind of waft the smoke and I make sure that none of the embers get, you know what I mean? You have to be safe about this. Make sure that none of the embers fly off and you know what I mean? You don't want anything to catch on fire. And then I just do that through my whole entire house. I already have my windows and doors open. I don't have every window and door. I just have some. And then I will walk through and I will let everything kind of leave and settle as it goes out. I will leave the windows and doors open for a while. Afterwards, if it's not too cold, do that. If it's too cold, then shut them. It's fine. But I like to kind of get the smell out. Like I said, it does have a very strong smell also. So some people might like it. I don't mind it. It's just when you're doing the whole house, it kind of can be a little bit much. And then that's it. And then whenever you're done, you make your way through your house in whatever way you feel right. And then I always end up back at my front door. And when I get back to my front door, I just thank God. I thank the angels. I thank my spirit guides, Jesus, for being with me, for protecting our home, for loving us, for guiding me in doing this, for removing any negativity and blessing it, and it can be gone and go, and to bring health and prosperity and, calmness to my home. And, whatever, like I said, whatever just feels right to you, that is what you need to say. And then I actually, whenever I'm done, I sage myself. And my kids like being saged also. And the way that I do that is I literally repeat that same prayer or something, along that lines. Like I said, whatever feels right. And I'll just waft the smoke. Like for me, myself, when I'm doing it, I'll stand and I'll actually circle the sage around me. You know what I mean? And I just kind of let myself simmer in it, and then I walk out of it. And then when I do my kids, I'll actually kind of just waft it around them and I pray around them, and they actually say that they can feel better afterwards. I will say, if you are going to sage your home, please, please, please inform everyone in your home that you are doing it, because there is a shift in energy. It does happen. It is real, whether you believe it or not. It does happen. Everybody might feel a little bit off. If everyone's a little cranky afterwards, it's just because of everything shifting back and all that negativity actually is still being removed. So the first time I did it, I didn't realize that I should have done that. And my husband, Greg, came home and he was a bear. He was cranky and he's not normally like that. And he's like, I just feel off. What's going on? I don't know what's wrong. And the kids were really off because I didn't sage them at the time. I just did the house. And I was like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I saged the house today. And then I kind of did a little bit of research, and yeah, you really need to kind of make everybody aware, because it is removing things. It is a shift in energy that truly does happen. And it really does affect everyone, and it will affect them in a good way. They just need to be aware of, there we go. Sorry, my son's going to be coming home soon. So, yeah. So So I think that is it. I'm going to go ahead and get my sage on and get this done. I already did warn everyone that I was going to do it, and I did wait purposefully until my boys, Miles should be home here in just a minute, and Blake will be coming in just a little bit, because when I start, I'll sage Miles. When I'm done, I will be saging Blake, and I will get Greg whenever he gets home. That way, everybody's just... all negativity is removed. And it doesn't have to be anything that's like super dramatic or anything that's happened. Sometimes it's just when everybody feels off. You know what I mean? Sometimes just feeling off is enough of an indication to let you know that you really just need to take the time and go ahead and do the saging. But if anybody has any questions, or if they want to share experiences, please feel free to comment. I am going to go do this now, and because like I said, I've been feeling anxiety. Blake, like there's just a lot of stuff that's been happening in this house, seeing things, hearing things that are not normal. I mean, we see and hear things all the time here that, I mean, we have an old house, and it's definitely has its activity. But it's more kicked up than normal. And like I said, for those of you just jumping on, that can happen from many different things. Decluttering is a major one. Renovation is another major one. Holidays, stressful times, major one. And those have all happened in my home in the last month. So, we are going to get our sage on, and everything's going to be better. Everyone's energy is going to be better. I'm going to start the year off right. And if you guys need any assistance, if you need any tips or tricks, or if you want to ask questions, like I said, please don't hesitate to comment. Reach out to me in any way you can. If you do, you might want to just do it on this thread, because there are a lot of people that have watched this and are going to be watching it. So obviously, if we can all help each other, and if there's a prayer or something that you do that you feel that is helpful to you, and it really kind of like worked well, please share it, because like I said, there's no right or wrong, but anything that we can do to help each other doing this would be great. And obviously, I'm not a major expert on this, so I'm always learning, and but I have been doing it long enough to know that it does work, and it's definitely beneficial, and that's why I wanted to share. So, okay. Hope you all have a wonderfully blessed day. Please share your experiences, and I am going to go get my sage on. Bye, guys. Have a good day.